Hey, thank you for joining us for session 4 of the Aletheia Strategy and Vision Pathright class. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. This is where it kind of all comes together. Our vision is to reach students, to make disciples, and plant churches. And we see that happen through groups, through gathering, and through going. But unless you activate your gifts, then the strategy is going to be anemic. In other words, it's going to be lacking. We need every believer at Aletheia to activate the spiritual gifts that they have. Now, we know that there are going to be some people who are in different seasons. So how they activate their spiritual gifts is going to look different. But each believer, we believe, has been given spiritual gifts. And we want you to bring those gifts to the table. And if you'll bring your gifts to the table, then we believe that the vision of God and the strategy that He has given us to accomplish it will happen. So in this session, you're going to read some things. You're going to take a spiritual gifts test. And that test, it's not the gospel, but it just helps you to begin to see how the gospel is realized and lived out in your life. So take the time, print out the spiritual gifts test, take it, and then follow the to-do list in that. Meet with your community group leader. Meet with some people to discuss it. And then come up with an action plan on how it is that you can live out the spiritual gifts that God has given you. Paul in Ephesians chapter 4, he says this, I therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness and with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit of the bond of peace. He says, there is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope, called to the one hope that belongs to your call. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. But grace was given to each one of us according to the measure of Christ's gift. In other words, because the gospel has come to us, saved us, transformed us, made us new people, made us sons and daughters of God. As a result of that, not only has your identity changed, but your trajectory has changed. He's given you a gift, and He's given that for you to use. Verse 11, he says, and He gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the shepherds, the teachers, to equip the saints for the work of the ministry, for the building up of the body of Christ, until we all attain the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to mature manhood or womanhood, to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. In other words, Paul says He has given teachers, pastors, leaders gifts, but He's given all of us gifts to maintain unity. So our goal in this session is for you to discover your gift, to be reaffirmed in your gift. Maybe you know your spiritual gifts. To be equipped to use your gifts. That's our goal in this session. So take some time and work through this material. Take some time and read Ephesians chapter 4 and begin to discover the gift that God has given you. That's our desire for this session. Thanks for taking the time to view this, and thanks for taking the time to press in and discover your